What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is having a legendary day. We got Jason waiting in the green room. We're gonna go ahead and get in the Niners O line and D line today. Plus, we gotta wait. At this point next week, we will have rookies at training camp. So I actually just got the email from the Niners telling us season ticket holders when we'll be able to purchase our training camp tickets. So the 13th, I think it was, it's Thursday at like 2 p.m. We'll be able to purchase our tickets. So I'm gonna, of course, I'm gonna be doing that. Before we get started, we also have a special guest in the house that I will bring on air at some point to introduce to y'all. A very special person in my life. Because well, I'll tell y'all then. But before we get started today, we're going to go ahead and remind everybody to help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link is in the description of the podcast or video. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr. Jason does a bang-up job at Niner Faithful Radio and Niner Faithful R on Twitter. To see everywhere you can subscribe to the show, go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show to get your special 10% off coupon code for all season 2 for the Faithful by the Faithful Apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
What's cracking, Jason? How you doing, bro?
Hola, bicholas. How's it going, everybody?
Well, you know what I always say, bro. There's only 2 days in history and been legendary to wake up a 5-time Super Bowl champion. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have our special guest. Say hi to the people, Mama.
Hi, people.
So this is my mother.
Hi, Mama.
I figure, if you give birth to me, you kind of, and your son has a podcast, you kind of get special treatment. So my mama gets to be worldwide. You're it's a whole total of 2 people right now are watching, Mama. Anyway, so how's that? Matter of fact, bro, I haven't even asked you. Okay, Mama's gonna give me a kiss, and then she's gonna go. Ow. Anyway, so how's that thing been going, bro? It's been going
Pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah. I've totally blanked and haven't even got to ask you.
Yeah,
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up.
Hey, look at this. We got Berto showing up as usual. What's up, my man? How's it going?
Oh, what's
Berto?
up?
He's saying- I'm guessing I'm Spanish. I do not understand. I don't speak Spanish, man. I'm sorry.
How you doing? ¿Cómo está?
Like I said, I think that's
Poquito español, everybody. Poquito. I'm learning though. I'm learning. Gabby's yeah, go ahead and just shoot it.
Oh.
Shoot your question. Specifically for Niner Smash. Oh, okay. Jason's got himself a fan.
Please do.
Go ahead, shoot it. Always. Roberto said, "¿Cómo está, Mama?" Which means, how are you doing? So, yeah, go ahead and shoot your question, Vengeance. So, today we're going to go ahead and get into some...
like the man Berto. That's all he knows to do.
I know. Okay, I feel a little bit better now that I know a little bit more than you, bro. The very little I know. I know Spanglish. And basically, I know when people are yelling and pointing. My boy...
but the tone comes across of that in any other language, you know what I mean? With the tone with that, like, yeah, I'm getting yelled at.
So I don't like to talk about work too much on the show, but there's funny. So I put some tomatoes down or something, and then it accidentally fallen into the sausage. right? And Gabby was next to me, and she starts yelling at me. And I heard her say Carney, which is, me and everything like that. And she goes, pitch it, Carney. And just yelling at me, right? And I knew instantly when she take a PJ for a car girls, man.
Okay, I don't know where we're going with this, but sure. What am I supposed to say to that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was so funny. We were actually talking about it at work today. When I was like, okay, my girl might not be watching. So there was this chick who was kind of one of my coworkers was like, Brett, she was totally hitting on you, right? And everything goes, hey, go get yourself a sugar mama. I work in Los Gatos. For people who don't know, I got made for hardcore in 2020 for not knowing Spanish in California. Oh yeah, you'll get roasted, bro.
Especially with that name, yeah, you're gonna get.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna get roasted. Like, so there's people who look at me funny because they think I'm Hispanic and I don't know Spanish, and I'm like, no, bro, I'm black and white, bro. And they're like, oh, okay. So, anyway. And I was like, bro, I don't even know what to say. Like, if people are hitting on me, like, I don't even know what to say anymore.
I'd just be like
y'all don't see this black ass ring on my finger, like. Anyway, so yeah, it totally threw me off my game. I ain't gonna lie. Anyway, so my boy Javi looked at me and said, "Look, bro, you're going to learn Spanish real quick when it's getting yelled at you." And I was like, yeah, I understood what she meant real fast. Anyway, so I figured we'd get into O-line. Now, with the Niner O-line, it's – look, I'm going to come out straight. They outperformed what I expected them to play last year, especially the guards. I did not expect Aaron Banks and Burford, who, we'll all say split time at guard with Daniel Brunskill and all that. But for everything I've saw this offseason and heard, looks 10 times better.
Yeah, you see him, and have you seen the videos of him and Trent out there training, man? Woo, man!
Love it.
That side looks good.
I love it. That chemistry, that left side chemistry, and it's like, look, we just need anybody on the left side of the offensive line. We just need you not to be the weakest link. That's all we need. It's just, Trent's going to take care of this side. We just need you not to be the weakest link. That's it. That's all we can do. The Niners have to go in. Look, if we see it, they see it. And look, fine, Colt McKivitz. Okay, if you told me that, you're going to have to start getting rid of some Eric Armsteads. Or let me put it to you this way, Jason. Mike McGlinchey or Javon Hargrave?
I don't think we need to even discuss that question.
Yeah. So losing Mike McGlinchey, look, I loved him. Was he worth the number 9 overall pick? I mean,
it's debatable.
2020.
It's debatable.
Hindsight's 2020. But for the most part, you could depend on him being out there. And I get from the little bit of football I played in my life, coaches will always tell you, just give me what I know I'm going to get. I can scheme, I can game plan, I can do whatever. I just need to know what I'm going to get. And you knew what you're going to get from Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that, and I will always say this, Mike McGlinchey's career in the Niner uniform to me will be this, is that when I saw him 2019, was totally cool at training camp, wore a fan's hat, was totally a man of the people. So checks personality box, good person. And you could every game you could show a clip where Mike McGlinchey just didn't look like he belonged on a football field. And it would snowball and all that. But if you're going to show that one clip, show me the 10 clips in the run game when he buried people 10 feet underground.
Yep.
What was this football team when he got drafted, Jason? A pass-first offense or a run-first offense?
I don't know. I mean,
you would say run-first offense, bro. Like 2018, we're a run-first offense.
Yeah.
So what was Mike McGlinchey best at? run blocking.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
right.
drafted a run first football team, drafted a elite run blocking tackle. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I'm looking for a
so
video.
was he? Look, would I pay him what the Broncos paid him? No.
No. But the
And
Broncos
God
are
bless
looking
him.
for that instant upgrade in order to protect Russell
I
Wilson.
guarantee you what Sean Payton said. Sean Payton said, "Hey, who's the best tackle on the market? Mike McGlinchey. Cool, get me him." You know,
Yeah.
basically, they're which you know what, Russell Wilson can enjoy Mike McGlinchey all he wants. Anyway, now I feel like in a weird position with the Niners O line because you ask me, is it a Super Bowl caliber O line? I think so.
Yeah, completely.
You know, I believe so. But is it the weakest link on the football team? Yeah. Especially the
Is
depth. That's where so okay, it's not, then what is? Secondary?
DBs.
Yeah. I'm okay. See, when you start, if you say the front line, starting five versus the starting DBs, I think
What's
it might be a
weaker?
wash. I think it might be a wash. When you talk about so
give you
you're
that.
talking about it might be a wash. Now when you get into depth, I am concerned about both our O-line depth and our secondary depth, specifically at corner. Safety, I think we're fine. I think we got too many safeties. You know, as anybody who watched last week's show knows. But if McColton McKivitz ain't the answer, you're trotting out Jalen Moore.
I mean, he would be the next in line, I would think. Or you know what? Let's pull this up. We've got everything, so we can see the whole roster. Sure.
Matt Pryor.
Let's see.
You know, the Niners only technically have one. I had it right now. So where's tackle? So yeah, Jalen Moore.
Yep.
And then left tackle Pryor.
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, that
there's
offensive.
I don't know if John this guy.
Feliciano.
Feliciano. That's I don't know why I can say that. I don't know if he has any time at tackle when he was over at the Giants and the Colts. And
I don't believe so. I believe it was strictly just guard and center. But that's my concern is that, fine, if you want to say, look, we'll take a step back in the running game, just run this to the left side. I mean, follow the money. So, I mean, that kind of seems like an easy solution, or stick Kittle to the right, if you're going to run to the right. So, fine. I run blocking, cool. And, good luck beating CMC one-on-one if you're a DB or a linebacker.
Yeah.
So they probably feel they feel fine with the running game. A slight upgrade, they swear, if you put a head on the Bible, they would swear that Colton McKivitz is an upgrade in pass blocking.
Well, in the limited amount of time he's gotten out there, he's a much better pass blocker. Obviously nowhere near as good as a run blocker as McGlinchey is, but take that as you kind of wash one for the other kind of thing.
It's really why is Colton McKivitz our starting tackle? Is because he's cheap.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Now the Niners figure, hey, we got the best left tackle in football. The number 2 rated center according to PFF in Brunskill?
I think he was
Brindle.
He was at least minimum top 5, I believe, is what he ranked.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's number 2, but I know it was top 5.
Aaron Banks definitely looks like he's worthy of the second round pick.
Yeah, especially because after that first year where he was he was, basically benched the entire season, redshirted more likely. Yeah. But
he was basically told your body's
terrible.
not ready. Your body's not ready. Come see us next year. And see, to me, what fired me up about Aaron Banks is that he showed up with the right attitude. The same reason I will get to him, when we talk to D-line, but the same thing I'm fired up about Drake Jackson. Not so much of what Drake Jackson showed us last year, anything that Drake Jackson showed us last year. It's about the mentality. Yeah. I mean, talent is talent. The Niners clearly have been able to show that they can identify talent at the D-line. Anybody, if you play D-line for the Niners, you got the talent. So to me, whether a player makes it or not is all up here. Here, your chest, your heart and your head, and maturity, mentality, whatever. So, not
sure where we're going with that.
Yeah, no. So that's what fired me up about him. My mom was talking, it distracted me. Anyway, so the starting lineup for the Niners offensive line, I feel fine about. I mean, ultimately, you could say it was. I mean, was it the O-line that even ended our season? Let's be real. Our season ended because Tyler Kroft, a tight end, missed the block. Wasn't even the O-line. It wasn't even Mike McGlinchey, who Niner Twitter would have swore. If you told Niner Twitter that, hey, because of a blown block, Brock Purdy's arm is essentially damn near ripped off, who do you think it was? Everybody and their mama would have guessed Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah.
So ultimately,
wasn't he next to
the O-line? I'm sorry?
I don't remember that play per se, but wasn't he next to McGlinchey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, fine. Look, there are probably people that still would blame Mike McGlinchey.
That's what I'm saying. It's like somehow, some way it's going to go in a little bit.
Maybe McGlinchey didn't push too far. I mean, I'm not going to get the technicalities of it, But, and no, I don't believe that that's the reason that they didn't re-sign Mike McGlinchey is because they put that blame on him.
Yeah.
I know everybody believed that because Jaquiski Tartt dropped the pick in the NFC Championship game. That's why they didn't re-sign him. If you don't realize, they didn't re-sign Jaquiski Tartt that year forever. Jaquiski Tartt was sitting in free agency for a while before they brought him back. So
speaking of somebody in free agency coming back, you see where Witherspoon signed?
Where did he sign? I didn't see that.
He's a Ram.
Interesting. Jawan Jennings is going to serve him his.
Just a little nugget on that when I saw the other day. I was like,
I hope they bring him on the field this year. Oh,
Debo's going to run it. You remember how great he was at tackling, right?
Oh,
Debo's
Kyle
run.
is going to embarrass him. Oh,
he's
Kyle
going to do
is
something
with
Debo, get him in motion. He's going to get him one-on-one, and he's just going to run him over. Because he was never a good tackler.
No, he wasn't. And you know what? To all fairness to him, that was the rap coming out of Colorado.
Yeah.
The rap was that he was scared to tackle.
Not to mention the whole getting in his head thing, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah. That you could have predicted that. So the depth of the O-line is what worries me. I should say the tackle depth, because you got Feliciano. I think that's a solid backup / 1B, whatever you want to. Feliciano was brought in specifically because it's like, look, if Banks or Brunskill, 2 of the 3 Bs, or even Brendel, slip this year, Feliciano is going to go in and start.
Yeah.
That's why he was brought in. He was brought in to replace Daniel Brunskill.
I don't know, because they are very high up on. You think, if you're thinking he's running for Brunskill, you think they're going to do the whole platoon thing with Brunskill or Banks again? Not Banks, but Buford.
Chris Forster, the O-line coach, came out and said he told Banks, he told Burford, and no, I'm sorry, he told McKivitz and he told Burford, the job is yours. You are a starter. Now, other guys can take your spot. That's not set in stone. But going into camp, they're the starters.
Yeah.
But the Niners are competent. So they had to imagine a scenario that he's going to play.
I mean, it's only a 1-year contract. Do you think he's just him, Feliciano, and what's his name? Matt Pryor. They're both on 1-year contracts. Do you think they're just in cases while we get ready the next set of guys to get over with, like Zakelj, Jason Poe, Jalen Moore? You think those are just holdovers for those guys?
I do. And honestly, it wouldn't be surprised if maybe not Feliciano, but it wouldn't be surprised if actually they end up on the practice squad.
You're talking about those three younger guys or
the Feliciano and Pryor. Just for the simple fact, if you put a gun to the Niners' head, you want Nick Zakelj to beat out Feliciano.
Yeah. I agree
You really want Nick Zakelj because they're high on Nick Zakelj.
Yeah.
You really want him to push to be a starter. You want him pushing Banks or Burford. So, Joey Fisher at guard. I'm excited because I loved his tackle tape. Now obviously it's different. You loved his tackle tape. So, to me, does it translate inside? Where you're not just necessarily dealing on the edge, you're dealing with quicker players, faster players, leaner players. Inside, you're dealing with bigger boys. So most interior D linemen aren't going to beat you with speed. They're going to beat you with strength, power. Maybe a counter move off of power, but they're not they're not D forward. I'm speed straight off the edge. Then you have people like Hargrave who are unique that are both, can beat you both, and that's why we paid him $80 million. So
we have yet to talk about Jason Poe, who is probably between me and you our favorite player.
Yeah, well, I was about to get with him because
it's almost like that tape of Fisher did the same thing for him that the tape that Jason Poe put out last offseason for him, got him elevated to where, he was signed by a team. So it's interesting that they got Poe at a guard backing up Banks, where I see him more as the maybe eventual heir apparent to maybe Brendel. And then Fisher's behind Poe, at least according to this with from our lens. So to me, that's a little interesting. I would have thought if you flipped Feliciano and Poe, that to me is how I would have set them up.
Yeah, maybe that's how they got in here. They told him, "Hey, you're gonna be the center," because we're loaded at guard. Maybe not necessarily, super talented. How are we gonna fit all these guards? But numbers wise, we're solid at guards.
We've got a lot of people who could be really good starters. Obviously we don't know about how these will turn out, obviously, but the talent is there between, Zakelj, Poe, Joey Fisher. Ilm Manning, to me, he's another freak coming out of Hawaii.
I've heard a little bit about him. People have said, watch out for him.
He is a freak of nature. He's up there with I don't think he's got the pound for pound strength. So to me, he's kind of a mix between Poe and Fisher, where Poe is all about that speed, technique type of thing, and Fisher is just that pure power kind of a guy that you see all the time. Manning looks like to be a nice blend between the two of them, right down the middle. So like I said, I think he's another one I'm really interested in seeing how he's going to show up.
I'm really excited, and I hope I'm going to try to maneuver to see if I can see it this year. I don't know if they're going to have a VIP section for season ticket holder. I don't know what's all going on. So we'll see how the setup is this year. But I really am excited to see the interior of this O-line versus the interior of this D-line, especially with the improvedness of the D-line of the interior, which is Javon Hargrave. Yeah, we lost a lot of punch on the edge with losing Jordan Willis, using Charles Omenihu. We lost who else was it? Omenihu, Willis, Ebikeam. That was about 700 snaps we lost.
Yeah, but we put in a straight power hitter out the middle.
Yeah.
Though.
So, but this is exactly. This is getting rid of your 6, 7, 8 hitter to get Barry Bonds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is significant.
We went from a jab boxer to a fucking heavy puncher.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, Mike Tyson in his prime,
Yeah.
So I'm really excited with the healthy Arik Armstead, which everybody talks so much shit about the interior of the D-line last year, and we'll switch to D-line now. Everybody talks so much shit about the interior of the D-line, but they don't miss, what was it, like 9-10 games that Arik Armstead missed?
Yeah.
That's over half the season.
And they still weren't bad. They were not the weakest link. I mean, they might have been next to the weakest link, but they still played pretty damn good for being, second, third stringers for half the season, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say they were the weakness of the defense. Oh, see,
the middle.
I think that the weakness of the front seven. I will say that they were definitely the weakest of the front seven.
Interesting to see how weak they were without the linebacking core that we had behind them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
If you had an average linebacker core compared to what we had, to where you could probably say we probably did have the best linebacker core in the NFL last year. So if they weren't backed up like that, then maybe we see some more cracks in the armor. But when you're backed up by Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw,
Azeez,
yeah, I mean, it's like you're going to cover up a lot of insufficiencies if there was any to begin with. Which there might have been some, but still.
Well, there's got to be. Go ahead.
Do you think this is the year, staying off on the offensive line side? Do you think Alfredo finally makes the jump? Do you think he finally gets it up on game day, maybe a time or two?
This is the last year of his non-exemptness, isn't it?
I believe so. So I'm saying it's like this has got to be the year if they plan on.
Okay, so
it's got to be the year.
Do I think he makes the 53? No. Practice squad non-exempt. He'll make the roster non-exempt. But if it's I pray to God it's not health related.
Well, yeah, unless he's
but if this is
all of a sudden great.
Essentially, if it's, hey, week 17, we've clinched everything, third quarter, where even Kyle, who's, Mr. Paranoid about giving up leads, even he says, okay, fine, let's not risk it. Let's not do anything stupid. I mean, it'd be kind of a dick move not to.
Yeah.
Right? Like it would kind of be and the last game of the year is at home, no?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Let me see. I just pulled up the schedule right now. Yeah, against the Yams. So, we've clinched everything, nothing to play for. Or maybe, at halftime they find out the Eagles lost and we officially clinched, the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
He's one of the extra D linemen you could bring up, or O linemen you could bring up. Yeah, I would think it would be kind of a dick move because why did you do this then? If you weren't trying to develop or eventually bring him on the field, then
I don't think anybody that's ever come from that program has actually played any time in the NFL. I'm pretty sure on that.
It would be pretty known. I think that would be something that would be talked about.
I'm still a little sad they didn't bring him up for the game in Mexico last year. I thought that would have been.
Yeah, that would.
Even if he didn't play, let him dress for that game.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. But yeah, that kind of.
I get it. We were still in the hunt, but at least.
Well, yeah, it was earlier in the season and everything, and we're not in the business of feel-good stories. We're in the business of winning football games.
Yeah.
And how many injuries we would have been before we trotted them off of the field in a feel-good story. All of a sudden,
Yeah,
because it was Jimmy in that game. So
yeah,
look, the Niners admitted they didn't expect Brock to do what Brock did.
Well, I don't think most people did, to be perfectly honest with you.
What?
I don't think most people did.
No.
From Mr.
You
Rosen.
couldn't have. You couldn't have. You would have had no basis to. There's literally been nothing like that in NFL history, and we probably will never see it again.
Well, even like when we drafted him, you remember I was like, "Hey,
pick 199, pick 199 will never, ever, ever, ever again be Tom Brady, or Tom Brady light. There would never be that. Will never happen in the history of the NFL ever again. So these things are aberrations, not the norm. Yeah. Now, do I think that people might start looking at Brock Purdy players, and say, hey, maybe, arm strength ain't the goodness. Moxie have done it before. Hey, I was a 4-year starter.
A 4-year starter to put up good numbers, good leadership.
Put up good numbers.
Yeah.
All
right. I'm going to move this down.
Let's be real, Jason. We hate to say this because and we'll get to it next week, or I'll get to it next week. But physical talents get you to draft Trey Lance at number 3 and Brock Purdy at 262. Which, regardless of how you feel about Trey or the future of his career, the one with the physical talents is fighting to be. Basically not be the third string quarterback. Because if Trey Lance was just penned in to be the backup quarterback, they would have not brought in Sam Darnold.
No. Shanahan's liked Sam Darnold since his USC days, so
yeah,
he's been high on him for a while.
He's not coming here. If say you told Sam Darnold you are a number 3 quarterback, he's coming here.
I think he likes Shanahan enough where he'd give it a shot. I like maybe not necessarily somebody in the organization, but somebody's like, hey man, somebody he knows was like, man, Trey Lance ain't that good. You got some busted arm Brock Purdy. We don't know when he's going to be back. So that's
history tells you all 3 quarterbacks play.
Yeah. So maybe not necessarily that, someone from the organization said, hey, you're going to play this year. But I'm pretty sure someone, in his camp was like, hey, man, Brock Purdy's arm isn't going to be the same. Trey Lance really ain't that good. You got a chance if you become a Niner, which I could see somebody saying that too.
I would honestly, as, him being a Niner quarterback, I would kind of like him to say, well, I'm better than Trey Lance.
Well, you want all your quarterbacks to think you're the best. I mean,
I would want him to say, I'm better than Trey Lance, and if Brock ain't ready to go, I'm just gonna they're gonna have no choice but to keep me in.
Yeah.
Wally Pipped is gonna get Wally Pipped. Kyle Ripken is gonna get Wally Pipped, basically.
So
in the sense that look, and that's where I love it. We're almost here, Jason. I mean, let us rejoice in the fact that the dead period is almost over, and all these questions and have the Niners fell out of love with Trey Lance and all that. Will he be traded? We'll be in about a month's time. We'll start to really know what's cracking.
Yeah,
and it'll all play on the field like it should. Okay, transitioning. Oh, your O lineman that make the team real quick. Last year we kept on the original 53. I got it right here.
I will go with Trent, obviously the starting 5.
Yeah,
and then I will go with Sakel, Poe.
We kept 9 last year.
It was Sakel,
so you got
Poe,
5. Sakel, Poe. So you got 2 more.
Jalen Moore and Feliciano. I think Matt Pryor will be the odd man out.
Yeah, and I agree with you. You keep Poe and Fisher on the practice squad.
Yep.
You try to see if you can get Felice, Miller, Feliciano, whichever one doesn't make it, to stick around on the practice squad and just say, "Hey, I'm in play." It's just a position that people get hurt in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's kind of that's that's pretty much where I'm at with you. Okay, so D-line. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. Both of our panic level is literally at 0 with the Nick Bosa not being signed.
Nah.
Especially when we came out and said it's going to happen week of camp, whether it's a couple days before, a couple days in, the week of training camp, Nick Bosa will be signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah, and it kind of fits with him. He's not and this isn't necessarily anything against Debo. Debo's more of a flamboyant person. He wants the smoke.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa doesn't necessarily want that. He just wants everything to be low key, chill. When it happens, it happens. He's not, like I said, like with Debo. Debo wants to make the show. He's a wide receiver. Wide receivers always want the show when it comes to that type of stuff. Somebody like Nick Bosa doesn't necessarily want that style. He's more of just hey, we'll get it done.
Even Jerry, who was about as no business as you can, no fooling around as you can get. We all know the infamous story of him and Deion at the Super Bowl. Even Jerry had a little bit of showmanship. There's a reason that Jerry runs down the field before every Niner game. It's because Jerry loves to put on a show. Jerry was born to be an entertainer. Why? So he's a wide receiver by birth. Like he's in his blood. T.O., Randy Moss, all of them.
The only one
most
that was
analysts, look at the most real famous football analysts, are all what? The quarterbacks, D linemen, and receivers. Players that you would say make splashy plays. D linemen, everybody loves sacks. Quarterbacks, obviously, and you just gotta say quarterback and receivers. So this is very Nick Bosa character because I haven't heard a peep. The only thing that would worry me is if Nick Bosa didn't want to be here.
And I think he would say something. With something like that, I think he would have told him, like, hey, I don't plan on I want to test free agency.
Yeah, I don't plan on just let me ride out my 4th and 5th year option. Like, I could expect that, like Nick Bosa is going to smile, when his agent calls him and tells him it's a done deal.
Yeah.
And everything. But he's going to be like, cool. And have a fast smile. Like, he's not going to, or anything like that. Or, I got the bet. Nick Bosa is just going to have that low key, like, surfer.
This is the man that keeps batteries in the little divot of his Rookie of the Year award. Have you seen that picture?
Nuh-uh.
He's got his Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, something like his mantle. He keeps batteries, like AA batteries right there. Like, it's nothing. Just like, he's just there collecting trophies and shit. So, just like, yeah, he's just like, I mean, Tuesday.
Because let's be real. Nick Bosa just collected trophies his whole life.
Yeah, there's nothing to him.
Like, there's nothing to do. Like, Nick Bosa is literally probably any award or trophy or whatever, Nick Bosa won it. And Joey probably won it,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I bet you the only, and you know what? That's why I love Nick Bosa, because I bet you what the one thing he would not do that to? Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah, that'd be the one thing that he'd actually.
That would be the one thing he would not do that to, and that's why I love Nick Bosa. It's like I told you.
MVP, not if you got the actual MVP.
Yeah, MVP is different because very, very, very few defensive. I mean, let's be real. The MVP is basically a quarterback award.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
So it would be special if he won most valuable player. Like, that's different, as a best player in the league. The Super Bowl is the best team in the league. That's cool. That's a team accomplishment and everything. But when you're the best player in the league, that's, I would say, besides Hall of Fame, probably the best honor a player could receive.
Yeah.
So I have no worries. John Lynch deserves our trust in the fact that when the Niners have wanted to sign somebody, they've gotten it done. So when John Lynch, and this is funny because John Lynch has never said this before. This is the first, if you listen, it's always been, oh, well, we're always open to. This has been the first year he came out and said, no, the Nick Bosa sweepstakes is closed. Like, we're not fielding calls. Like, I will immediately hang up on you. Yeah. So he's like, Nick Bosa sweepstakes is over. When he comes out and says that to me is okay. My girl just sent me the message of the chat. Hey, anyway, baby, if you're watching, hi. Anyway, that was for Jason, not me. And I don't know. Maybe was that her?
It's
I don't know.
Day on the show.
Anyway, whatever. We'll obviously talk later. I'll call her after. But when John Lynch comes out and says, Nick Bosa will be a 49er for a very, very long time, I believe him.
Yeah.
And to me, what's the holdup? To me, it's very, very simple. You're going to give him the biggest contract, ever. And so maybe the length of years, exit length, because obviously the Niners are going to put some type of exit clause in the contract. They always do.
Yeah.
Some type of option, those type of things. And a little bit of the fact is Nick Bosa probably ain't even in California.
Yeah, good chance he's not.
I mean, I'm sure his, let's be real. The real negotiations are happening between, John Lynch, Parag Marate, and Nick Bosa's agent.
Show you this one.
But, Kyle came out and said Debo has he talked to Debo, and asked him, hey, what do you want in your contract and everything? When has he really had
like, who keeps batteries there, man?
Oh my God. Only Nick Bosa, bro. I love him. Don't ever change Nick Bosa. Just stay motivated by that Super Bowl trophy. That's it.
Just keep changing to the wrong one.
That's it. Just stay motivated by that Super Bowl trophy. So Nick Bosa will be a Niner.
Yeah.
And what I love about this is that you're not even hearing even with George Kittle, who, how many times, Jason, on this show have we said they should change the names to the San Francisco George Kittle?
I mean, he is the face. How many times?
He's the face. He is the face of the Niners. Like, he is George Kittle. I will personally, I'm going to tweet him. I'm like, George, look, I have came out on the show and said that eventually I think the only way George Kittle stays on the Niners is if George Kittle's value, what he thinks his value is where the Niners value is, where the Niners value him. And as long as that stays consistent, George Kittle will be a Niner forever.
Yeah.
But to me personally, it just seems so just the norm for him to finish his career in Nashville. Where does he live? He's not rocking the Sharks jersey.
He has.
Oh, I'm sure he has. But no, he's came out and he said, I'm a Predators fan.
Yeah.
And everything like that. So
it's just the ugly part of the sport. It's a business. At the end of the day,
that's what I'm saying. Hey, I live in Nashville, later on in his career, as he's maybe going to start to try to transition out of football. Nashville I want to be where I'm going to live and where I got my business connections. Probably going to live in Nashville when he's done.
There is a huge WWE wrestling school in Nashville. I can tell you that right now. Or it's in Memphis, but it's close enough.
Yeah, Tennessee. A lot closer than San Jose, California.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but to me, this is to me the thing I hope the most is that Joe Staley had an extreme influence on George Kittle. Because let's not forget, George got emotional when he did that speech, that goodbye to,
Yeah.
And what was the number one thing Joe Staley will always be remembered for? I will always remember, besides play on the field, is that in 2017 when they came to him and they said, "Do you want us to trade you to a Super Bowl contender?" And he said, "No, I'm going to start when I finish." And if that's what George had then George will finish his career here. It's about loyalty to the Niners, loyalty to the empire, loyalty to the fan base. That's what staying a Niner forever is. Business decision, hey, this is where I live, all those type of things. I mean, everybody wants to work where they live. Yeah. This is a business, all that. Hey, the Niners don't want to pay me what I'm worth. I mean, look, if you could watch Frank Gore, and I know this is a tangent, but I promise this is the last little tangent. Okay, I promise this is the last little thing. I give huge props to Jed York because this literally just dawned in my head. It's no secret that Denise DeBarlo, basically York's favorite player, has always been Frank Gore. It's no secret.
Yeah.
He talks about how him and Jed are brothers. Basically, he said, me and Jed are like brothers. That's how close he is to his family. The fact that Jed York did not step in and say, no, we are keeping Frank Gore. I mean, how many – Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft would have stepped in and kept Frank Gore. And the fact for Jed, wrong decision, I'll go to my grave and say that, but at least not bring in Frank to compete and make Carlos Hyde prove that he's better than the franchise all-time great running back, is that I give Jed York's props saying, hey, I'm going to let the football people make the football decisions.
Yeah. Took him a while to learn that, but
he did. But how about this? I think Jed was like a year younger than me when he took over the Niners. So how about Jed had to mature a little bit, like maybe some of us do? Spoiled little rich kid? I mean, come on. Took him a while to grow up. How many spoiled little rich kids does it happen to in America? It just takes you a little bit to grow up. Probably the first thing he started to fail at. You know what I'm saying? When he realized my mommy and daddy can't just throw money at this and fix it. Like, I actually got to learn and build a good football team. And you know what I'm saying? This isn't something money can fix. So D-line, better than last year.
Yes.
Does this have the potential? And we always say this, and I almost hate saying this, but it's a point we got to talk about. Is this going to be better than 2019? I think it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be hard because this is built different. This team's built a little different. We don't have the D Ford. But if Drake Jackson can give you what D Ford gave you in 2019, which is what? How many sacks did D Ford have in 2019?
Well, Nick Bosa is now your D Ford.
Well, yeah. I mean, true. Nick Bosa is now in true what you imagine Nick Bosa to be.
Yeah, because
I still love his birthday.
No, at the time we knew Bosa. We knew Bosa. Good Lord, was good. We just didn't know how good he was going to be. That's a rookie.
Nick Bosa was a defensive player of the year. Nick Bosa in 2019. He was rookie of the year, but he wasn't, the best D lineman in football that year.
I'll say this, and I know this will probably not many people agree with me. I think that Hargrave is an upgrade over Depot. I really do think that. Even at this stage,
pass rush wise, I mean the stats bear it out.
Pass rush and against the run, I think he's a better overall player.
Depot wasn't that. If you look statistically, which is theoretically all we can really, go by. If you look statistically, Defoe wasn't that great of a run blocker. Okay, so in 2019, D Ford had 6.5 sacks. So now
how much time did he make or miss?
He made 11 games.
Okay.
So what D Ford was that year was a constant pressure.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So we see Drake Jackson to be D Ford.
I mean,
and I think he's about that's
Drake Jackson's got. I mean, you would think if the offseason's any indication, he came in, he got in shape, bulked up, all those things, glowing reports from all the coaching staff.
Yeah.
If that translates, he's got to give you more than 6.5 sacks.
See, I'm not as high as some people are when you talk about like how many sacks someone gets, simply because.
Well, I'd rather have pressure.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like with the addition of Hargrave, I don't see Bosa getting the 20 that everybody wants him to get.
No.
And not that he's not going to be able to play good. I just think everybody else is going to catch up. So, look at what Philadelphia did last year. They had how many guys with like 9, 10 sacks? What if this defense ends up being like that, where nobody has an abundance of sacks? What if, Bosa only has 12, but overall we have like 60, 65 as a team? I'm
Jason,
for that.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe Nick Bosa reached his career high of sacks last year?
It's hard to say. Only because
it wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me because that's a lot. I mean,
that is a shitload.
20 is a very rare number that guys hit. Mid-teens to high teens is where you start getting – you talk about guys being elite when they're hitting 15, 16, 17 sacks a year. But when you hit 20, now you're talking about all-time greats, you know what I mean, that kind of a season. So I just see it as it's going to be evened out to where Bosa's not going to get a high number anymore. But like you had said, I see more pressures in general. Like, quarterbacks rushing to get the ball out of their hands and stuff like that and just making bad throws. So maybe we have an uptick in picks.
You know what excited me? Like, when I close my eyes, the play I remember the most from Nick Bosa in 2019 isn't, I mean, obviously, like the flag waving and all that, but what really surprised me the most, the play impressed me the most, was the run stop he had against the Aints. Because that's what I learned. Nick Bosa ain't just a pass rusher. Nick Bosa's an all-around player. And also what's going to happen to Nick Bosa, and you would hope to happen as a Niner fan, I want this, is the players around Nick Bosa are going to get better. Yeah. Like, we're going to get better players. I would think, you would hope we would get better players. So I don't, and this is what I'm going to hate, is because I know people, what's wrong with Bosa? I could see him. I could see him not having a sack for the first 3 games.
Yeah.
Just for example, what's wrong with Nick Bosa? And is it best for Nick Bosa to be on the field and take the wear and tear necessary to get more than 20 sacks? Because what happened? What happened in the playoffs, Jason?
Well, people say he got burnt out, but I think they were just scheming against him. I really like. You're talking about elite.
I think it's a mix of both. I think
playoff teams. We're gonna, we're playing better teams consistently.
Better O lines.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they focused on him, real hard. And we're gonna take him out.
I mean, I think almost of a we'll fail on offense. Just to make sure Nick Bosa doesn't beat us.
Yeah. But you can't. I mean, I still think Bosa's going to get.
And see, this is where the Niners. I think that's where the Niners saw, because then they saw, because you got to go into the playoffs thinking, is Nick Bosa going to single-handedly win the Niners a Super Bowl, right? And then you saw, okay, not that he can't or that he won't, but you saw that he needs help.
Yeah.
You have to have another threat out there. And fine, by the playoffs, we had Eric Armstead back, and, which I will defend Eric Armstead with, him not sacking Dak Prescott, because I guarantee you he did not want to roughing the passer bill. That's exactly why he did that.
Anybody who says that was a bad call, I will disagree with. That was the correct play by him.
Yeah, I would say 100% that is what was the correct call. In a game where points are at a scarcity, you don't give them 2 points. You don't give him 2 points and then the ball. You know, Bryant Colt, what's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up?
Love the logo.
How you doing, Colt, man?
I hella want to get that tattoo.
Colt has his own.
Not, but I do.
Is another content creator for the faithful.
Oh yeah, what's up, brother? Well, I have to. Hey, bro, hit me up. Hit me up, and we'll get you on the show, bro. Like, we're always trying to find. We're doing quarterbacks next week. Hit me up, and we'll bring you on to talk quarterbacks next week. Shit, I ain't tripping. So the D-line's gonna eat. Real quick before we get out here, because we're running pretty close to an hour. Bubby's almost home. Oh, she actually might be home. We kept, how many did we keep last year? I think it was 11.
Can we go for 12? Or no, that's right. I wanted 10 last year.
Yeah, we kept 9, but I know that changed. Because we didn't keep 9. I would say 11.
So what? Obviously the front 4. We're probably still going to take Kinlaw, just because.
You're not trading them.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah. So what? So we got 4. So Hyder, Kinlaw, Gibbons, Farrell. Who's the last one that makes it in?
Yeah, hold on. Just one second.
It's got to be Kalia.
Kalia Farrell?
Yeah. No, Kalia Davis.
Kalia Davis. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, no problem, bro. No problem. Like I said, message me, Facebook, wherever. I was gonna say that I was tripping because I was like, dude, what about Kalia Davis? I was like, dude, what about Kalia Davis? So D ends, Bosa, Kerry Hyder.
Yep.
I don't think Austin Bryant makes it. Alex Barrett.
Outside. If Davis wins, he's going to be the man out. He's going to be the outside guy looking in, I think.
What about Spencer Wage?
I don't see him getting
I think he's practice squad.
I don't see him beating out Kalia Davis for that last spot.
But he's my little keep your little eye on player. CJ Ruth, that's my partner, bro. That's my boy. Crazy thing, he actually had Spencer Burford. I know, Jason. He had Spencer Burford on his. He interviewed him before the draft. I remember he hit me up. He was like, "Bro, if we draft it," he told him on air. He's like, "Bro, if we draft you, I'm gonna jump in my pool." And then he sent me the video of when he did it and everything. He's like, "Bro, we drafted him." I was like, "That's so sick." He sent me the video of him jumping in his pool. But all right. Yeah, that was wifey that just called my mother. So you go Bosa, Drake,
yep.
Hargrave, Armstead,
yep.
Givens,
yep.
Kinlaw,
yep.
Kerry Hyder, Kalia Davis,
Farrell Cleaning.
I'm Robert Beal Jr. You think he would make it?
Nah.
I like him, bro. I think he makes it.
I like him, but I think you still gotta go with Kalia Davis. I am high on Kalia Davis.
I already said Kalia Davis.
Did you? Right? Must have.
So that's 9. That's not. We got to keep more than 9.
I still like Ty McGill.
Yeah, I was about to say T.Y. McGill. You got T.Y. McGill off there. Good looking, brother. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I see when you guys go live, by the way, Bryant, but you guys go live when I'm either asleep or I'm at work kind of thing, so I can never jump on with you guys. I got a weird ass schedule when it comes to work, man.
Look, I get off. I'm usually home about 4:30, so holla at your boy. But yeah, we're definitely collab. Are you going to Are you Bay Area local, bro? By any chance? Are you here in the Bay? Maybe we'll have to link up at camp. We do every practice I go to, we do a training camp report. Oh, you're always welcome. I'm in Stockton. Oh, hey, bro, you come out to camp this year? Let me know. You come out to camp this year. Every camp we practice I go to, I do a report right after, and then the second.
There you go. He's going to camp. Y'all can hook up.
Cool. We're gonna link up, bro. Just let me know the dates. I'm a season ticket holder, so I get whatever dates I want. Let me know. August 1st. Jason won't be here, but I'll be at camp. We're doing the show from training camp. I'll be there Dwight Clark Day. Those are the 2 days I know.
I don't know. I could be here if you want me to just run stuff like in the background.
I want to play.
Huh?
Oh, God. Yeah, boss. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I'm going to training camp.
Right. Look, the boss already, like I told him last year, or he's known for a couple years now, like, we win the Super Bowl, don't expect me to be at work for like the next week. Because I will be on the plane down there, probably the next one I can catch, and I'm not coming back till probably a couple days after.
Woo! Puppy knows,
I'm going to be too hungover to even get on.
I'm going to be drunk. Like, I'm probably going to be drunk from like Sunday until after the parade. Yeah, like after the parade. I'll probably wake up the day after the parade and be like, all right, it's cool. Maybe like a couple shots. Like it's just gonna be mayhem. Anyway, it's funny. I told Jason the story off air, but I went and saw my grandparents, my mother's parents, on Sunday, and my grandpa's the reason I'm a Niner fan. And we're laughing, and I got to tell him a little secret that hopefully those who listen to the show will know soon. But something super, super cool. Jason knows what's up. Something that we pray actually will be huge for NFR. But I got to tell him about that and everything. And my grandma was talking, and she goes, I still have to take aspirin from when Jerry caught that, Jerry Rice caught that touchdown. And she was talking about the touchdown he caught when he came back in 97 after he blew out his knee and caught a touchdown against the Broncos. I went absolutely ape shit. Anyway, I have Sunday and Saturday morning shows.
What time are your shows? Because I'm usually up early on the weekend, so let me know.
Yeah, Monday night would probably. Monday night. Well, what time for Jason? But yeah, bro, we'll get you on. Any games, bro? I'm a season ticket holder, so we'll be at games. I'm gonna see how we're gonna do.
I'm pretty sure we got each other on Twitter now, so hit me up.
Yeah, you'll have to hit up the show social.
Yeah,
and
because both of us will be on now.
Jason and I will get back at you, bro. 9 a.m., 5:30 Monday night. Yeah, I can do 5:30 Monday night, bro. Hit me up. We'll talk about it. We're gonna get Jason out of here. I gotta have a cigarette.
I gotta go to bed.
Talk to my mother. Yeah, so
early.
We'll see you the 25th, bro, and we'll do the final 53.
Yep. Doing stuff with the wife for at least that next week, and then I'll be back once training camp is back on full time. So we'll get this rolling.
Love it.
It's weird because it feels like it's been forever and a half, but now that we're almost here, it's like, oh man, that was quick.
It does feel closer this year. That, bro, nothing will ever be the year we had to do the shows for Twitch.
Oh,
nothing will ever be that dead period, bro. That was long.
But that was my first time doing shit. I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh my god, that was the longest 40 days of my life. Oh, that was horrible. All right, y'all.
Was it 20 hours a week or 20 hours a month?
20 hours a month. We had to do 5 hours a week. Is what we
of nothing
out about.
Absolutely. You know what would have been good if like the last couple of years had we done that, because we could have just taught quarterbacks and we could have either way.
Oh yeah. It would have been amazing. Or even
because we could have easily.
Or last year. Last year we would have been able to talk quarterbacks and Debo.
Yeah.
Really, the people who were smart were the ones that they brought in like August.
Yeah, like
August, September, October, it'd have been great.
Remember, we had a chance to delay it, but we're like, no, we want it now. We're
because I was, we
were all hyped for it. It was like, oh man, We should have waited closer to like training camp.
Yeah, we should have definitely. Because I remember thinking like, oh, 20 hours a month ain't shit. Like, and then I remember really breaking it down. Like, bro, that's like 4 or 5 hours a week.
Yeah, but it's 4 or 5 hours. We had nothing. There was nothing.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. With nothing to talk about. Yeah, we've been through some crazy times. All right, Jason, we'll catch you in a couple of weeks.
Choo!
Oh, I cut him out too soon. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I thought that was a pretty good show. Before we get up out of here, make sure to help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link in the description of the video or podcast. Go ahead and go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Jason does a bang-up job as social media manager. Go ahead and see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. Go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And your special 10% off coupon code for the Faithful, by the Faithful Season 2 apparel is the New Hope. I shall see y'all next week. We go live. I was about to just say, we go live every Tuesday, 4 p.m. here on the West Coast. I shall see y'all next week. Till then, same faithful time, same faithful channel. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
See ya. Go Niners, bro.